let's talk about the scary reality. I mean, living in the United States of America. Apparently, there was another gunman that opened fire at a Texas summer camp. Very cool. Very cool, guys. Cool. Really cool stuff happening all the time.
Terrifying moments when a gunman opened fire at a Texas summer camp with some 250 kids in attendance.
Yeah, you can
Staff
get real life survival horror.
Those children.
Dude, what's scarier? Summer camp at Hackett Square or whatever, where there's like the Hag? Or real summer camp at Texas, where you have psychotic people with AR-15s opening fire? I don't know, man. I feel less safe around I feel less safe around just average Americans in any of these fucking states than I do in like werewolf-infested Hackett camp in North Kill, New York, or wherever the fuck that game is set.
And police were on the scene within just minutes. Marcus Moore has the latest.
He went in the room, and then we heard shooting, and then we got scared, and everybody started crying.
This morning, another Texas town reeling after a gunman opened fire at this summer camp program.
My immediate emotion was to panic.
Children from 4 to 14 were inside the Duncanville field house when police say a man armed with a handgun burst in and began firing.
What we know is the suspect entered through the main lobby doors with a handgun. That was the initial gunfire, the initial shot that the people inside the location heard.
Camp counselors trained for these scenarios, acting quickly, rushing kids to classrooms and locking the doors.
I was praying to God just so nothing will happen, so nothing bad won't happen.
There were no officers at the facility when the shots rang out, but police arrived 2 minutes after receiving calls, shooting and killing the suspect within minutes.
There was no hesitation whatsoever. As we're thankful for their training, that they do exactly what they're trained to do.
Right now, police are unaware of a motive. It's also unclear if the gunman was targeting someone inside this building. But TJ, officials this morning say quick actions save lives.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's great. All right, and now for some great news, okay? Some great fucking news. Even though not exactly great news, but, you know, some progress has been made on the gun control front, which is not great. But, of course, everyone's doing touchdown celebrations, like New York Times Daily had Chris Murphy on. You know, John Cornyn finally fucking came to his senses as a senator from Texas to be like, hey, yeah, I guess we do need like a little bit of gun control. What the fuck are we doing? But ultimately, it's not going to be anything, and I'll describe to you exactly why it doesn't really fucking mean anything, because even the red flag laws that they're supposedly pushing for is not really the red flag laws, but instead urging states to do red flag laws. No control at the federal level whatsoever. No control for gun control at the federal level whatsoever. And urging states to fucking do red flag laws by just simply offering them money. Every single fucking advantage in this congressional package is voluntary. And even then, you can still probably see some of those 10 Republicans that signed off on it decide that they no longer want to sign off on it. Nothing is final yet. Hopefully they do end up going along with this, but let's take a look. Congress is moving forward on gun safety legislation with a focus on mental health and also hardening our schools as targets. Hardening the targets that are our schools. Such a weird fucking thing to say. Like, it's just such a weird admission when you say schools need to be hardened targets. Oh, this is how you going to do Fiona like this, by the way.
Kirsten Sinema. She is one of the core four who's helping usher this through. Her first job.
Oh, dude, this is one of the best parts. Kirsten Sinema was like, oh, there's a bipartisan deal happening. Let me call up Chris Murphy. She's a part of this too. That's all you need to know, dog. God, I fucking hate her so much. I hate her so much. She has stood in opposition in front of progress so many fucking times, dude. What a careerist dog she is. Oh my fucking God.
Two important figures, Roy Blunt, a Republican who has signed on to this framework, and Debbie Stabenow. It's their mental health framework that really, it looks like they've been preparing for years, and now it's being adopted in this proposal.
So rather than a huge, ambitious approach, this has been described as a more pragmatic one. Help us understand why that is.
Something that is helping these senators reach consensus is the fact that they're looking at the profile of a certain kind of American who has been committing some of this most reprehensible violence, young men. And when you look at the data, in fact, we looked at some of it today, you see why senators have their attention on that profile. You look at 18 to 21-year-old perpetrators of gun violence, according to the violence.
I mean, how is this any different than fucking guns don't kill people, people kill people? Like, you've accepted your enemy's framework. I mean, you're literally... God damn it, I fucking hate liberals so much, dude. What are there, no young men in fucking the UK? Huh? Is that what you think? You think the Oibrovs don't have their own fucking issues, mate? You think they don't have fucking roadmen? You think they don't have fucking problems, yeah? Is that what you think? Or you think like, or maybe they have the same level of mental health problems, okay? They watch the same shit that we do, so it's not the fucking media. And they just have one fundamental difference, which is finding a fucking gun and purchasing it and using it, okay? They have stabbings and they ID people who buy knives. Exactly. But hey, guess what, dude? You can't fucking stab and kill successfully like 30 people, dog. If you want to fucking eliminate mass shootings, yeah, that's one thing you can do. I don't understand why people like think that that's an own whenever they go, oi, bro, well, we got fucking stabbings, yeah? Yeah, I know, dude. I know. It's you know, unfortunately, it's a far more preferable situation than like mass shootings, okay? The U.S. has a higher stab rate per capita than countries like the UK, idiots. We don't. We identify by the term lads. Conservatives say, I'd rather be shot than stabbed. Well, I don't care what conservatives have to say about this because they're fucking stupid. Oi, bruv, we get glassed at the pub too, yeah? What are you gonna do, mate? You're gonna do fucking glass control, bruv. What's next? What's fucking next, yeah? Glass control? I'll fucking glass use. There's debris in
a focused way at one particular kind of perpetrator that we know is responsible for an outsized amounts of gun violence.
So we know a lot of people are waiting to see what they do. Lisa, what about the timing? What happens next and when?
This is the question we all have, of course, because everyone knows the midterms are coming. The clock is not helpful to the U.S. Senate at this time. However, this is delicate. This is a difficult situation. They don't have legislative text yet. I'm going to show you what they do have. This background proposal we're talking about, if you take a look at what it actually looks like here, it's not a large document. There are just 300 words in it. We can scroll through it. That's it right now. This is what we're talking about, just 300 words. So what these senators still have to do is to write this into text. Essentially, Judy, think of it this way. If a group of people is trying to build a house together, they've agreed now on a photograph of a house. They have not decided things like how many bedrooms, how big should the bedrooms be, what kind of appliances in the kitchen, who should use them. Those are all difficult questions that can add to any problems in a deal. Most of the Senate wants a deal here, but they have to figure out those tough details.
Dude, 300 words is so funny. It's like when chatters say the classic copy pasta in the chat where they're like, oh no, I have a 300-word essay that's due tomorrow, and I'm watching the stream like as a joke. But except this time, it's like the most comprehensive legislation for gun control ever achieved by the Senate. I have a 300-word essay due tomorrow, and I'm watching the stream instead. Like that, but this time they did that for legislation.
Details. I think where we're at is they're going to try to write this legislative text in the next 2 weeks. If they do it, it would be remarkable. Here's what Chuck Schumer says about where they're at.
For the first time in a long time, the Senate has a path forward on legislation that will save lives, reduce gun violence, and keep our communities safe. Make no mistake about it, we have a lot of work left to do before we actually pass a bill. But yesterday's announcement was a positive and necessary step in the right direction.
I can imagine viewers saying, we've heard this before. We've heard positive steps before. This is different in one way that we did not hear from Senator McConnell on this issue today. The fact that he's not saying anything is actually a reason for hope. He is not putting a hand on the scale yet. He is not against this. Everyone knows Republicans have been pretty quick in the past to say no to anything related to gun legislation. He's leaving an opening, but the main question, Judy, is the momentum that the Senate has now.
It's fucking cold in here, dude.
Will that keep up long enough for them to finish this deal? And that we don't know.
And when you say as long.
Now, let me tell you why this is bullshit, okay? Well, one, all the worst people are involved with it. But other than that, Chuck Schumer likes it. But other than that, Kristen Sinema likes it. But other than that, here's Senator John Cornyn, one of the most important figures, okay? One of the main people on the fucking Republican side. Senator John Cornyn of Texas. Okay? And here is what John Cornyn is promoting this bill with. John Cornyn is promoting the bill with like what it doesn't accomplish, okay? These are ideas we rejected in the bipartisan agreement on principles for gun-related legislation announced yesterday. Why? Because we knew that if they were included, the bill would not command the votes needed for passage. Okay. Ideas rejected in negotiation. Universal background checks. Assault weapons ban for 18 to 21-year-olds. Not even a full-blown assault weapon ban, but even for 18 to 21-year-olds. Mandatory waiting period for all gun sales. Why? Why do you need it immediately? What's wrong with you? 21-day waiting period for purchases of all firearms for 18 to 21-year-olds. Again, another these are all the good shit that John Cornyn is saying we luckily did not put in this bill. Remember, guys, they're not saying this is what's in the bill. He's proud of what's not in the bill, okay? He's like, oh, God forbid we put this shit in the bill, okay? This incredibly helpful shit in the bill, okay? Flexing bougie bussy. What? High capacity magazine ban, okay? Licensing requirement for purchasing an assault weapon. Dude, I love that. I mean, come on, dude. How are you gonna fucking not laugh at this, dude? How are you gonna look at this and be like, wow, thank God for progress, am I right? Unconstitutional mandatory safe storage requirements for all firearms in home. We do not have safe storage requirements because we've declared it to be unconstitutional, chat. For everyone in Europe, in the United States of America, you could say something is unconstitutional, and it doesn't matter how fucking psychotic it is, okay?